Our construction for today is called circumscribing. To circumscribe something means to put a circle around it. So we are going to be concerned with circumscribing a triangle, although circumscribing really pretty much any shape is the same type of problem. We are going to start with a triangle of any type. Mine is acute. It's, I think, slightly scalene. It doesn't matter what kind of a triangle you're working with. The same process works for acute, right, or obtuse. Equilateral, isosceles, scalene. Okay, so it doesn't matter what kind of a triangle you're working with. Same process works for any triangle. And actually shapes beyond triangles like rectangles or such. We really only have 2 steps to this construction, so this is a quicker construction in terms of the number of steps that we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is bisect at least 2 sides. You can bisect all 3, and sometimes I actually like to do that. It's a little bit more work. But when we do this bisection, what we're concerned about is where do these bisection lines meet each other? And if you do all 3 of them, they should all meet each other at the same point. So if you just do 2 of them, they are going to intersect each other, of course. But if you do that 3rd one, you can make sure it's hitting the same point. Because if it doesn't, you know something went wrong. So doing that 3rd one is kind of a way to check your work on it. It's not necessary. It just helps you maybe be a little bit more accurate. So to do a bisection, this was one of the things we learned on day 3. So that means this could be something that would appear on your quiz today, possibly. To do a bisection, what we want to do is put our compass point at one end of the segment. So I'm going to start by bisecting the bottom of this triangle. So I'm going to put my compass point on one side of that side and make a mark above and below. And it doesn't matter how big. And when I work with the triangles, one thing I like to do is make it big enough that these marks are going to land outside of my triangle. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on inside the triangle. So if I can make my marks big enough to happen outside, that didn't look very good. That just cuts down on kind of the clutter that will be occurring in the middle of this. Let's see if I can be a little bit more accurate there. Okay, and then I'm going to go over to the other side of the bottom of this triangle and put my compass point and make marks that are exactly the same size.
Please excuse this interruption. Would Logan Tolsma and Maggie Tolsma please come to the high school office?
Then what we want to do is connect those. It's not good. Mine looks pretty off, so this probably isn't going to be great in terms of accuracy.
What 2 points did you use?
The 2, since I was bisecting the bottom, I used the 2 sides of the bottom.
Okay.
Okay. Now I need to bisect another one. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to go ahead and bisect the left of this. So then I'm going to be using the point that's at the top and the point that's at the bottom left. And again, I put my compass point on one of those points. And I'm going to set my compass so that it's big enough so that my marks are going to happen outside of the triangle. And I am struggling with this compass today. It's this is going to be definitely off. This is not going to be very accurate. It is sliding all over the iPad this morning.
Do you have to use your finger as part of the as the pencil?
Yes, I have to use my finger as the pencil, and I have to have sticky tack on the point because otherwise the point will scratch the screen, and that would be a bit of a bummer, right? I want my screen to get scratched. So it's just a whole very clunky way of doing things, but I don't know. I guess I haven't looked into it enough to see if I could purchase an iPad compass.
I have a pen that works on iPad.
I tried it. I tried using a stylus inside of it, and it didn't work.
Is it the one that you keep on?
I tried using that one. I tried using one other one. It didn't work.
Dude, when you bisect it, does it have to go through the top point?
It does not.
Okay.
No, mine just kind of happened to there. It should be going through the middle of the side. So that's how I can tell that mine is actually off, because the middle of the side is actually, I think, about here, and the middle of the side is actually about here. So mine is going to be very inaccurate.
Where do you put your compass?
I put, since I was bisecting the left side of this, I put it on the bottom left and on then the top. Okay. So to bisect a segment, you put your compass point on each end of the segment you want to bisect and make a mark above and below. Now where these intersect, we get a point. If you would go and intersect the third one, they should all intersect at exactly the same point. Okay, so doing that third one is kind of a safety feature and making sure that they do all intersect at exactly the same point. Where that point is, this point of intersection, is going to become the center of our circle. Okay.
Circle?
Yep. To circumscribe, we're trying to put a circle around this triangle. So that point is going to become the center of our circle. And so our second and final step to this construction is to put the compass point on the intersection and pencil any vertex and draw a circle. Okay, so you put your compass point on that intersection point, put your pencil on any of the three vertices, and it should not matter which one, and make a circle, and mine is going to be horrible. Oh my goodness, so horrible. Okay, so this is beyond the realm of human error. This would take a half point deduction because I can see the marks are right. I tried to do the right thing, and it just the compass was not working along with me. So in terms of if I saw this in your notebook, it'd be a half point deduction. I do not expect to see necessarily perfect circumscribing. It is really a little bit of error in that step, and then you do the next step, and there's a little bit of error in that step, and all those errors kind of accumulate. So I do not typically expect to see perfect circumscribing. Sometimes it happens, and it's a really exciting thing. But if while you're doing your assignment, you do a problem and you're wondering, is this an okay amount of error, or would you deduct for this? Just ask. And I will gladly tell you, like, no, that's totally fine. That's within the realm of kind of the error I would expect to see. Or something like this, like, oh, I think you're a little bit too far off. Let's try that again. So always feel free to ask me on your problems, and I'll let you know. But only 2 steps, really. Bisect at least 2 sides. If you bisect all 3, you'll probably be more accurate. And that point becomes the center of the triangle. And then put your compass point on that, or the circle rather. Put your compass point on that center. Put your pencil on any of the 3 vertices and draw your circle around. Okay? Questions?